Hello YouTube, De-bodgery here, aka Richard Gumfaw on Facebook. Welcome to EV Components Review. You are looking at what is, in my opinion, the prettiest controller shell I have ever seen. And this is obviously, the Tronic 750. Yeah, to me, that is pretty darn pretty. Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, I would... that's got to be the nicest looking controller shell that I have seen from anybody yet. Yeah, and I would, if I had this controller on my EV, which I will, yeah, that's definitely going to be stuck somewhere so that everybody can see it and they go like, ooh, what's that? Because, I mean, they're going to come in other colors too, not just black. This is just what they had because this is a pre-production unit. But, yeah, I'm just saying, that's hot. That looks way better than everything else I've seen so far. And I've seen some pretty attractive controllers. You know, the KO stuff isn't ugly. The EBMX X9000 isn't ugly. But yeah, to me, this is like, you know, really got the pretty factor going on. This is a complex piece of machining work here. This is not just single layer or two-dimensional machining. This is full three-dimensional machining on this one chunk of aluminum right here. Because you've got this whole surface. You've got work on this side that was done. This is all CNC machined. Same thing for the other side and on the inside as well. And then, of course, you've got some work down here too where the two battery wires come out. Anyway, very pretty case. Very pretty case. All I can say is, damn. That's really good. Alright, so let's open this thing up. Or look at the back side first. And as you can see, even the back is gorgeous too. You know, milling doesn't come free. This is expensive and time-consuming and stuff to do all this stuff. They could have just made this a flat piece of aluminum and left it, and that would have been okay. But they didn't. You know, this is not even the part you're going to see because it's like hidden behind stuff. But yeah, they even like made that gorgeous. So yeah, that's super cool. By the way, these grommets that are in here, these are not final. These are 3D printed. I guess that's PLA or something. But the real ones are precision made silicone grommets. Again, it's a pre-production unit, so you know it is what it is. You've got a bunch of mounting screws on here, so you can use that for mounting the controller to something. And then, of course, you've got these ones on the side too. So plenty of mounting options for the controller. Out of these three right here, that's where your three phase wires come out. And your small signal cable comes out there, and battery plus and battery minus come out here on the end. These are supposedly not in the way. Talking to the owner of the company, I asked him, so like, why do they come out the bottom? Why don't they come out the end like everything else, like battery plus and minus does? Because that's a pretty standard form factor to have all your cables come out like here. And he goes, well, actually, you'd be surprised at how many people have used these controllers, myself included, and having the wires come out the bottom like this is actually more convenient. So it's like, okay, well, it's your design anyway. Anyways, let's open this thing up. So yeah, it's all CNC machined. Again, no rough edges. Everything is nicely machined. There's no scratchy areas, no little snaggly bits. All the burrs are removed. Yeah, attention to detail here is super good. Even like around these screw holes, those all have a chamfered edge on them. You know, all these screw holes, they all have a chamfered edge on them. Everything here is, yeah, the machining work is just really good. Let's flip this bad boy over. All right, so on the inside, here is all your instructions for everything, and this is all laser etched in here. It is not silk screened, so this is not going to wear off. You know, because you'd have to literally like wear through the anode to wear through to the aluminum to finally wear off the printing on there. Unlike a lot of stuff which is, you know, basically silk screened or paint printed on, this is all laser etched. It's very resilient. So nice hunk of aluminum. You know, lots of cost and expense in making this one piece of aluminum. You can see this groove around here. That's for the silicone gasket, which I don't have. They were still getting made, and in fact in here you can see that same groove for that too. So this is a pre-production unit. You'll notice there are these little locating holes right in here, you know, right next to the bolt hole, and they're at each one of these things. And in the shell there is little stainless steel locator pins, so when you put the cover on, it goes on, and it goes on nice and easy. And then once it's in place, you know, no screws in it, there's just the tiniest bit of movement. I mean, really small amount of movement. So much so that I can't feel it, I can only hear it. So, you know, nice precision, you know, and at the same time, it comes off very nice and easy too. So, yeah, I mean, who does locator pins on their cover for their controller? You know, that's an attention to detail that nobody else does. But that's the Tronic way. Everything is if they find something they don't like, they change it. They just don't even squabble about doing a really good job on stuff. So yeah, I like having all the instructions on the inside where it's not seen except for when you need to get inside. So yeah, that's super cool right there. You know, just basically improves the prettification of the thing, because all I can say is, damn, that's pretty. Oops, holding it upside down. That's just pretty right there. Yeah, I like this shell a lot. Okay, on the inside. By the way, this is a solid hunk of aluminum, and they had to machine out a lot of material to make this hollow space inside to put the controller inside. And yeah, machining doesn't come free. That's expensive to do this kind of work. And yeah, and they could have cast this. That would have been cheaper, right? But they didn't. They made this all out of a single block of aluminum, you know, spared no expense, and did it the best way they possibly could. The controller is held down by many M3 screws, so I don't know how many it is, I didn't count them, but yeah, you've got them all across here, and all those pull the board down, and they sandwich the MOSFETs down to here. And this is, as you can hear, it's a hunk of aluminum. There's a lot of material there. So that's going to be a great heat spreader, and of course on the other side is all those fins for heat sinking. So yeah, this is going to work pretty darn well. And with all those screws really securing this down, there's no spot on here where the MOSFETs don't make a tight fit down to here. And there's a piece of silicone heat spreader, or I'm sorry, thermal gap filler that goes across here. And that's where all the MOSFETs sit. So any small voids that would happen between the MOSFETs and here are filled by the thermal gap filler. So thermal transfer from the MOSFETs to here is going to be pretty darn good. Definitely like this shell. Definitely like the attention to detail, and it's only getting better once they have little details like these grommets replaced. Yeah, this is, in my opinion, probably the nicest shell that I have seen on anything yet. The only thing, and I have just sent a message to the owner of the company, and he'll probably will do it, is I would like to see this be removable. So the heatsink is bolted down, and you can take it off, and instead you can put a water block there instead. And that way you could put this controller someplace that's not going to be an actual direct air. You know, you could put it someplace else, or also that's going to improve the thermal transfer from the MOSFETs much more than what you get just from convection from air. And that means you can run this at even higher wattage. And who doesn't want more power? So it's already a pretty powerful controller. And talking to the owner and also the engineer that developed it, they're running these at higher than their specs already. So yeah, it's their specs are deliberately conservative, and that's always good. I like to see specs that are not blown out and pie in the sky numbers, but ones that are actually leaving some on the table. And yeah, they definitely are here. Like the owner, he runs this controller himself on his motorcycle, and on their specs they show 128 volts, and he's running his at 131 volts. So yeah, they leave some on the table, and they know that as fact. So super nice case. Definitely like their case. Yep, this is definitely the prettiest, spiffiest, coolest case I've found on anything yet. I'm just going to say, somebody's going to have to work pretty hard to beat that one, because that is, wow.